Howdy everyone, this is LockNutz, and you're watching a mod review of the International Harvester 66 Series tractor by Rubberburner89. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, how are you guys doing today? Oh my goodness, I tell you what, today we get to do a mod review of the International Harvester 66 Series tractor by Rubberburner89. This little beaut is 8.18 megabytes to download and is currently only for PC. Ooh, I betcha, I tell you what, she is a pretty vehicle, that is for darn sure. Now, before we jump too far into things, let's read what the description has to say. Another line of classic red tractors can be added to your mod folder now. It is my great pleasure to introduce the Black Stripe 66 Series International Harvester tractor to FS22. This mod brings 5 motor choices, all with the all-new torque amplifier transmission. You'll have 19 different tire options, all in their classic 2-wheel drive glory. Color configurations for both rim and main body, exhaust configuration, cab configuration, and active front weight configuration. This series has got a load of new animations in the added cab as well. Ooh, I tell you what, pretty darn slick here. You betcha. So as you guys can see, like it said, there are other color options that are going on here. For the bodies, you do have black and white. For the rim color, you do have black, as you can see, white, and then red. I don't have the red out here, but you can have red as well. So you got that going for you. Before we kind of really jump into looking at the bits and pieces of these things, let's take a look and see what you'll see when you look in the shop. And right here, this is the icon you're going to be looking for. This is in the small tractor section, $18,500, not too shabby. And as you can see, it has a horsepower range from 95 to 179, so that is pretty darn slick. 100-liter tank and 21 miles per hour. Now, as you go ahead and pop in here, like it said, there are several different options for motor types. You got the 766 that has 95. You have the 966 that has 117. You have the 1066, which has 146. You have the 1466, which has 162. And then finally the 1566 with a whopping 179 horses. And as you can see right here, as you change the motor type, it does correlate with the numbers on the side of the engine. So you got that going for you right there. As I said before, the body does give you the option to change colors as black. Now, if you go ahead and max everything out price-wise, you're going to end up having jet black rims, jet black body. Max that out. Put a cab on this little bad mamma jamma, chrome curve, weight setup, max that thing out, and then you have to put on dually rear rims, maxing this particular beast out at $50,000 and $300. So I mean, it's not that bad price range wise, especially considering it's 179 horsepower that you get off of that. But let's go ahead and bring this back to a couple other colors so we can see this a little bit different, a little bit better. As you can see, when you go ahead and you had the cab on, that's what it ends up being. And when you take the cab off, it does revert back right in here. You do have the 2 different type of exhaust, the stock exhaust and then the chromed hook one. Not too shabby. Now you can go ahead and have tons of different weight setups on here. But normally, I don't know about you guys, when I go ahead and get a tractor like this that doesn't give you an option for a PTO in the front or anything to add whatever weight size you do, I normally just max it out. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I honestly, I'm not too sure. But as you come up here, you take a look. You can go from different styles to different styles, and some of the styles do only have wide tires. And then some of them you do have two different styles of wide tires on there, depending on what you want to get on there. Depending on what your look is, it's not too shabby at all, guys. Like I said, you got, for the price on this thing, you can't beat it. It's pretty darn slick, pretty darn slick. So let's take a hop out and see what this bad mamma jamma looks like up close and personal. Alright, so here's what this little guy looks all by itself here. Not too shabby. Has some nice internal functions in there. You do have a spot back here where you can go ahead and hook your hydraulics up, which we'll go look at the other tractor over there in just 1 second. But let's turn this thing on so you can give it a good listen. Got some nice sound. There you go. As you're driving around, you can really hear the gear shifting in there. Not too shabby. Let's take this and set this off to the side here. Looks pretty slick. Sounds kind of neat. Yeah, it's nice. I like that. I do like that. Let's turn this one off. It's always kind of interesting to see you sit on here in the first person setup right there, and you're just looking at yourself sitting on there. The animations will come together eventually here, but it looks pretty darn cool. Now, as you're going ahead and sitting on this thing, one thing that I noticed right away, and this is just me being a very avid coffee drinker, there's no cup holders. Ooh, boy, there's no cup holders, but you know what? I wouldn't let that bother you at all. Now, let's hop on over here into this guy, and let's take a look and see what this one looks like on the inside. As you can see, you do have the cab on. It does muffle the sound just a little bit. Not too terribly. I kind of like the little whine when you go ahead and start this thing up. That's kind of nice. We'll go ahead and drive this thing around a little bit. And again, you do have fairly nice animation. Almost flipped that thing. You do have pretty darn good animation as you're driving around in there. And one thing that I did notice, if you go onto the main menu, or not the main menu, but if you go onto the vehicle when you're purchasing it, it says the max speed is 21 miles an hour. That is incorrect. The max speed is 25 miles an hour for all of these right here. So keep that in mind. Now, when you come on over here and you take a look at this guy, as you can see, let's zoom on in here. As you can see, the hydraulics do hook up to this thing. And we'll disconnect it. We'll reconnect everything back on there. Doesn't look too shabby at all. Alright. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and give this thing a little wiggle around. Now, one thing I was noticing with this tractor, kind of like a lot of these smaller tractors, if you do get them going fast enough, kind of around the corners, you may end up losing a little bit of, I don't know, balance. Oh, man. But other than that, they do seem to have pretty darn accurate power. As you can see, as you're going up and over these hills here, everything conforms pretty darn well. You get the nice action of the front axles snapping around up in there. You get the body that moves around. The tires move as they're supposed to. We're going to just disconnect that for the time being. You do get nice movement of the various wheels. I do like how these front tires, like I said, they really do kind of conform to the land pretty darn well. I will say the animations on here were done very well. The tractor definitely behaves and handles like it's supposed to. To be honest, though, if I were driving around on these hills with this guy, I personally would probably get pretty sick. And like I said, as I said before, this thing does get up to 25 miles an hour, even though it doesn't say it can. So that's pretty darn slick, if you do ask me. But guys, I tell you what, this mod is definitely a nice little workhorse. If you're looking for cheap power, this is definitely something that you're going to want to look forward to. Like I said, price-wise, $50,000. Let's do a quick little comparison of a small tractor. Let's come on over here and find one that is 179 horsepower, or at least has the capability of it. This guy right here, let's jump this up to 175, which is going to be close price-wise. and you can see it's way over double the amount. So for 150,000 to completely max this thing out, and that's with getting that particular setup over there, the black one, it's a steal. It really, really is a steal, guys. But you know what? You don't have to take my word for it. Go ahead and download this mod. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of this little bad mamma jamma. These little internationals like this. These workhorses of vehicles. Ooh, I tell you what. When you want power, these little cases are definitely what you want to see. Or these little international harvesters are exactly what you want to see. Guys, if you're liking what you heard and like what you're seeing, go ahead and smash that like button. Hit the subscription. That way you're helping me out a ton. Go ahead, turn the notification bell on and have it set to all. That way you know when this and other great videos are coming out. Guys, I tell you what, share this with somebody who is a huge international harvester fan. Kind of like yours truly. Ooh, ha, ha, I tell you what, guys. Oh, boy. Thanks for stopping by.